out of nowhere came Five Nights at Freddy's this year. Did remarkably well, so it's no surprise that Blumhouse right now is looking, and they have greenlit, apparently, a sequel. No big surprise. They made the movie for about $25 million, and it ended up making like north of 300. I mean, 300 isn't exactly what you call blockbuster numbers in Hollywood, but for a movie that only costs that much, that's a ridiculous profit margin and one of Blumhouse's biggest hits so far. Well, knowing that maybe this doesn't have long life, they've decided to hit the ground running and apparently are looking to shoot and release this film within 6 or 7 months. This comes to us from Coming Soon to write the following. Blumhouse and Universal are reportedly cooking up plans for another swift slice of Five Nights at Freddy's action soon as Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is set to begin filming in the spring for a Halloween of 2024 release. That's this coming October. Less than a year from now, it's going to be out in theaters. Haven't started shooting it. It's going to be in theaters in less than a year. The success of the original on a relatively small budget made the sequel to the video game adaptation a certainty, as that became Blumhouse's biggest movie ever. So, according to the reports, they're saying they're looking at maybe start shooting this spring, which means they hella rush the development of whatever this movie is. I mean, some people say, coming out in 3 years? Well, maybe they're rushing it. No, like this thing's coming. They don't have a script yet, probably. They want to go start shooting in spring, and then not only shoot in spring, but like 6 months after they start shooting, they want this thing to be in movie theaters. Now, it's not like Five Nights at Freddy's is a post-production visual effects CGI heavy property, right? So while there is certainly a post-production process to go through, it's not like it's one that, say, like a big comic book movie is going to take a year plus of post-production work. So that's not the craziest thing. What is the craziest thing is when they released this movie, they had no idea it was going to be such a big success. And yet they just slap something together and say, let's put this thing in front of cameras. And you know what? I don't see that as necessarily a big bad thing, because while I know Five Nights at Freddy's has a large group of fans, passionate, enthusiastic fans, you guys know, if you follow this channel, I was super excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. I lost some of my enthusiasm when I realized they were doing day and date with Peacock, because they don't have a great track record when they do that. But, you know, the movie wasn't great. I mean, it pushed all the nostalgia buttons for people who are really into the Five Nights at Freddy's game. The only game that's ever actually scared me was Five Nights at Freddy's. It wasn't a wonderful movie. Come on, guys, this ain't Shakespeare. They don't have to put together deep plot and multi-layered narrative threads for characters going on an epic hero's journey of self-discovery and enlightenment.
You turned into Triple H.
Was that a Triple H voice?
Old Triple H.
So, I mean, whatever, right?
Whatever. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Whatever. Chronic things that kill people. How big of a script do you need? Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Quip. Good health starts with good habits, and Quip makes forming good dental habits easy by delivering all of the oral care essentials that you need to care for your mouth. I've already told you guys about their incredible toothbrush that is now my favorite toothbrush I've ever owned, and their mints and gum are amazing. But now I want to tell you about their water flosser. It hits all the right spots with gentle or deep cleaning pressure at the touch of a button. And don't worry about recharging. The cordless rechargeable battery lasts up to 8 weeks with daily use, no bulky charger or dock or tangled cords. It blasts away up to 99.9% of plaque and popcorn from treated areas with precision, thanks to the 360-degree rotating magnetic floss tip that snaps right into place. It's easy to control water flow that leaves you feeling squeaky clean. And the sleek and slim design, it keeps your countertops as clean as your teeth. So guys, if you go to getquip.com/Campea right now, you'll get 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, and water flosser. That's 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, water flosser at getquip.com/Campea. Spelt GETQUIP.com/Campea. Quip, the good habits company. So normally, I would say this is a big red flag for any sort of thing, but for something like a Five Nights at Freddy's, look, all people want to really care about, they care about people wandering into the place and these giant animatronic robots slashing them up. That's what people want to see.
And plus the post-credit scene, there's bound to be a sequel. I mean, that called for a sequel. Whatever happened at the end, I completely forgot. I was trying to read about it, but
Whatever happened at the end, I'm sure it called for a sequel.
no, I just didn't. No.
Whatever happened.
No. I'm just saying.
Totally
From what I
needs a
remember, I was like, oh, there's going to be a sequel to this.
Well,
So
there's 9 games.
Well, remember,
9
that
already?
means
There's 9
nothing,
games,
right?
main
like
games.
every
Man.
movie that gets made, they hope it's successful enough that they can do a sequel. But I mean, every movie that failed has open ends on them that you could make a sequel out of it if you wanted to, right?
And the fan base is big enough where I think, yeah, this is a good decision to do it real quick, because the other one seemed like it was made real quick.
I mean, yeah. But the funny thing is they worked on the first one for years. I mean, years. I think I was still at Collider when we
Yeah.
announced that they were going to do a
Well,
Five
they're
Nights at
treating it
Freddy's.
like an actual Chuck E. Cheese. Once you have the animatronic, you just use it and use it and use it until it's a
just-
haunted shell of
yeah.
what it used to be.
And the movie was a good time for me, at least. I didn't hate it. I watched it and I was like,
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just, it had some moments. It had those key moments. I don't think it's a very good motion picture overall, but I mean, it had its moments. It hit the right buttons for a Five Nights movie.
and one thing I do regret is not actually going to the theaters and watching it opening night. Because
Oh.
from what Chris said, the
it's
theater
pretty
was
wild.
packed.
Yeah, with
I
little
really
kids.
would. I really
Yeah.
would have liked to be in a
was
packed theater watching
terrifying.
that. It probably would have been. I probably would have had a better, experience.
Yeah. I was going to see Nightmare Before Christmas because I'm an adult, and all these small children were dressed as the animatronics. Stoked to see that movie.
Oh, my
And it
goodness.
was charming and horrifying.
Let's play, Chris.
Yeah, I ran away as fast quickly. as
So
I
what do you
could.
think about this, Chris? I mean, like, the movie was just out not long ago. They've now greenlit a sequel, start shooting in the spring, out by October. So I don't know. How do you feel about that?
It's a hell of a timetable.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they
Like a
don't think
pregnancy.
they can wait another year to to take advantage of the momentum, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I think they're doing. And again, it was made relatively cheap, right? 20 million.
Yeah,
which
20,
isn't-
25, depending
which
on the
isn't
report
crazy
you
for a
read.
movie. And it grossed about 293 worldwide.
I think it topped 300.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So
super high profit margin.
I think too, once you kind of have established the Freddy's, the animatronics and all of that, you don't have to do as much work. I know I was joking about the animatronics being there, but you already do have a lot of the props and everything made. You can make these movies relatively cheap. We have 9 games total in the main storyline to choose from for a story and everything. So I think you can put something out pretty quickly, and they're striking while the iron is hot. I'm still just so floored that this did as well as it did in general. I mean, I know it's recognizable IP. I know people love these games, but Day and Date usually is something you can bet it's going to be kind of a dumpster fire of a film. And
Yeah, I hope they don't do Day and Date for the second.
I think now this is going to be a theatrical
Well, it's just like how
exclusive.
many times do you have to learn this lesson?
Yeah.
As a distributor.
Well, I mean, look, it's a common thing that these streamers, some of them have figured it out and some of them have still not. Five Nights at Freddy's would have had a bigger debut on Peacock if they had just done the theatrical release first and then later said, now available to view at home on Peacock, rather than putting it on Peacock on opening day. And by the way, nobody subscribes to Peacock, so that's why I was able to do okay. But I mean, if for the next one, they should absolutely follow that. They should absolutely make sure they just make it theatrical, then wait 6 or 8 weeks, and then say Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is now available exclusively on Peacock, and it would have a huge launch on Peacock.
And the smartest move here is releasing it during Halloween. If it was released in any other month, I wouldn't feel like going to the theater. It's just a point, like during Halloween, everyone wants to see something scary and have fun and go out and watch a movie. I think it's a good move because it would either be this Halloween or they would have to wait until the next Halloween. I just like that it's releasing during that season or during that holiday. What do you call it? I don't know.
Spooky season?
Yeah, spooky season.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.